Hi, I am Allie Camilletti, and you are listening to Snack Leadership. I will be talking about everything leadership, broken down into bite-sized pieces. You will hear what different leadership skills look like in organizations and how they can rise teams up or take them down. I help leaders build resilience and improve performance by bringing awareness to opportunity behaviors in my business. Spark your mindset. I provide leadership and sales coaching, as well as team building and guest speaking. My hope is for you to feel inspiration and to create a spark in your mindset. Hi, everyone. Today we are talking about financial freedom. Financial freedom means being in control of your finances and your life choices. Erin Marcus is the founder and CEO of Conquer Your Business, an international company helping driven entrepreneurs and small business owners get the financial and emotional freedom they need to build a business and a life they're proud of. Having made the successful leap from corporate executive to entrepreneur, Erin uses that experience along with her MBA education and street smart upbringing to help her clients reach heights they never dreamed possible. Erin is also an international speaker and host of Ready Yet podcast. I know Erin through a mutual friend and podcaster. I'm so excited to have the chance to talk with Erin about her expertise on financial freedom. Hi, Erin. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. I am so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
I like to start off by asking, what is something you have recently learned about yourself?
So this was weird. I just had this conversation. I don't know what this is. So this is like new. I haven't figured it out yet. There's some journaling that has to happen.
Love it.
But what I have learned since becoming an entrepreneur, and part of my journey has become being an observer of my own behavior so that I'm not reacting to everything, right? And so now that I've paid attention for a longer period of time, you'll love this. This is wonderful. I seem to have 2 times a year that I fall apart. Like, what is up with that? Like, and I'm telling you that it's external. My dad's had a heart attack. He's fine. My mom got stuck in a hurricane, moving when the dog died, like crazy levels of stress. Kat has emergency surgery and I have COVID on the day that I start my 3-day retreat for clients. Yeah. Like crazy levels of the world falling apart. Alongside, they seem to coincide with my challenges, right? My imposter syndrome, my stories, whatever it is, flaring up. And one of my friends said to me, maybe, and I'm like, what's up with this external stuff? And she said, maybe it's not any different. Maybe your reaction to it is different because you're having these internal issues. I'm like, aha, good to know. So haven't sorted it out yet. But the thing that I've learned about myself literally the other day is twice a year, the wheels come off the bus. Okay.
Are they the same like months each year?
I think they are. I think it's a spring and fall thing.
Yep.
So I don't know what that's the anniversary of. I have trauma in my background in terms of health, in terms of surgeries. So I don't even know when those surgeries happened as far as my childhood, because they all happened before I was 5 years old. But I got to find this out because I've got to be able to head this off at some point, or at least be a little bit more prepared for it now that I've seen that there's this pattern.
That is so interesting. And I wonder if it is the change of seasons.
Very much could be.
Because I have something similar, and it is April and October.
That's me. I thought it was March and September. You know, my birthday was the other day, April, but it is that March and September thing. And I know I have seasonal affective disorder. I know that I have to go into the winter having a project. I have to very intentionally have a project going on that is just so monumentally exciting that it gets me through the winter blues. But now I'm reading more that the change of seasons can have this crazy, crazy, crazy effect. And evidently it's doing a number on me. And so we have to look into that.
I don't want to turn this into a coaching session each way, but I got to ask, do you do gratitude work?
Oh my God, yeah. Like
Yeah.
pages,
Yeah.
pages, pages. I have a wide variety of questions
Yeah.
that I use in the morning, depending on what's going on. And gratitude becomes, if I don't have anything I know I want to work on, I default to gratitude each and every time, because you can't go wrong with that. So even on days that I don't feel that there's anything to sort out, the default is gratitude. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Love it.
So we'll see. I'll come back. I'll let you know how it goes.
I appreciate that.
I'll
So,
circle back with you.
when do you feel like you first embodied this skill of financial freedom?
This is really weird because I was a total juvenile delinquent. I was not a good kid. I didn't go to school. Like literally. It was the 70s and the 80s. They couldn't track you electronically the way they do now. Chicago public schools just wanted you out of there as fast as you could. So you got away with it back then that you can't now. So I never realized at that age the drive that I would end up having. But I think the whole concept of financial freedom came from the fact that I knew I had to take care of myself. Like I don't have an abusive background or situation like that, but from a financial standpoint, I have had a steady paycheck since I was 13 years old. I had a steady job since I was 13 years old. And the deal was mom went grocery shopping once a month. And when the food was gone, the food was gone. And I used to take public transportation to high school and get in trouble for stealing quarters out of my mom's bank. So I don't want to say I was on my own in some big dramatic fashion as if I had negligent parents, because that is 1,000,000% not the case. However, I have known from a young age that whatever it was that I was going to have or get to do was going to have to come from me. It was never going to just be handed to me. And so as I got older, the more that I wanted to do, the more that I wanted to have, was just very tied together with, well, you have to go make that happen.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can't just sit back. Right.
So then, what have you experienced when it comes to organizations and looking at that and when they're really embodying that piece?
Yeah, it really is the difference in everything. It's so funny that I just did my live show on this morning. If we back up to corporate, if we back up to my corporate experience, my whole approach and the reason I did so well at my jobs and in my career was I never hesitated to step up to help solve a problem. Right? This whole thing, and it became my tagline in my business about being in charge, take action. Be in charge, take action, get results. And, it takes a little bit of a few decades before you can look back and see how this all goes together. But there's so much in corporate or in the world in general that people sit back, they wait for something to be handed to them, and they blame everyone else when it doesn't happen. Instead of be in charge is my version of personal responsibility. And that doesn't mean that things don't have to change and that there's things that go on in the world that aren't, that don't create a level playing field, which makes it unfair. I absolutely get that. But at the end of the day, what life do you want? The one that was handed to you and you're living on leftovers because somebody else decided what you get, or do you want to create what you want?
Yeah.
And as an entrepreneur, so that was in corporate, right? The people complained that they would do the work once they got the raise and the promotion instead of doing the work to get the promotion,
Totally.
right?
Yes.
Totally. And as an entrepreneur who coaches and consults other entrepreneurs and small businesses, it's the same thing. This morning's show was literally called, are you waiting for something to happen or are you making it happen? And I don't want to be like a big jerk about it because it's tricky,
Yeah.
because we're all very, very busy. But what we don't realize is we're very busy doing things that ultimately have us sitting back and waiting.
And is it also the belief system around it?
It's the belief system, it's the subconscious programming,
Yes.
it's all the fear, it's the abject terror that stops us. And that's why when I talk with my very emphatic cadence to my voice, I also have all the empathy in the world for the people who are trying to solve the problem. I have less empathy in the world for the people who blame everyone and don't even try. But for the
Yes.
people who are putting themselves out there and legitimately trying and bumping up against the neuroscience that makes it hard, I totally get it. And unfortunately, in my space, there's a lot of insta tactics out there that people are selling that don't solve the problem, because the people who are buying it, A, their business isn't ready for the tactic. They didn't do the strategy and the work before they went to work. And B, their mindset isn't ready for the tactic.
Yeah.
So they end up feeling like a failure. And it's just a brutal, brutal cycle, because the number one creator of imposter syndrome
Yeah.
is failure.
Yeah. I've worked in a
Right?
lot of entrepreneur groups, and throughout, it's been imposter syndrome. And I've watched it. And I think it is also this belief system that there are going to be times of cash flow. That is part of being an entrepreneur, but it's all about how you react. Is the sky
Yeah.
falling, or
Right.
is it just a season that's going to shift?
Just a season, and the language that I put around it that helped it solve the problem for me, and thus what I share with my clients, is your calendar is not broken, your mindset is not broken, your belief system is not broken, because the more we keep defining it as broken, it implies it can be solved. This doesn't get solved. This is just an ongoing puzzle that will need constant tweaks,
Mhm.
constant attention, constant intentionality around it. No big deal. It just is. My calendar gets way out of whack all the time. All the time. Overbooked. Overbooked. I know. I used to go, oh my God, I have to fix this calendar problem. It was very dramatic. And right, it was absolutely horrible until I just gave up. And I decided, you know what? I don't have to fix it because it's not broken. It just is. If I pay a little better attention to it, it can be just is in a little better way, right? Like, don't make a big deal.
And having grace. I think for me, I am one that can be super on top of things, and that is not my lifestyle anymore. At 50, with a 5.5-year-old
God,
entrepreneur, I am like, it's all about going with the flow of it,
yeah.
and it's about how I react to it. And
And
knowing
that
that,
was one of the best, right? This is the one of the best. I just turned 53, and I've said this probably since my mid 40s. The best thing about getting older is how much I don't care about things anymore.
yeah,
Gotta, right? Take the death grip off of the world, and
yeah,
it's amazing what happens.
it's so true. So, anything you want to share about when you've watched cultures really struggle with financial freedom and what you've observed?
I think part of what the struggle is people don't know what it means to them.
Yeah.
Everything needs to be reverse engineered. Your health, your money, your relationships, your business all start with the same question, in my opinion. What do you want? Because if you can't answer the question of what do you want to lose weight or do you just want to feel better, those are two different approaches. Do I want to bang my head against the wall looking like the competitive power lifter I used to be in my 20s, or I just want to feel better in my body? Those are two different answers. Same thing for your financial freedom. Do you want to quit working at 60 and do whatever it is you want. Or like me, my boyfriend teases me. He made me take a retirement compatibility test. And the first question it asked was, what age do you want to retire? And I immediately went, this is the dumbest question I've ever been asked. Why would I stop doing what I love doing? I'm already living on my own. So yeah. So he's like, yeah. I know. Just answer the question. I just go with it. It's like, we all know you're going to have to pry your computer from your cold dead hands one day. But what does it mean to you? I
Yeah.
don't ever want to stop making an income. Because to me, I make my income creating aha moments and businesses and financial freedom for other people. Why would I stop doing that? So one of the biggest challenges in creating financial freedom is having zero ideas of what it even means to you.
Yeah.
So then we don't know how to build it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so good. So good. And I will say, I do want to retire. I love what I do, but I totally want to retire.
Yeah. And thank you for that, because there's no wrong answer. There's no wrong answer. And I think we get wrapped up in what we're kind of like, my calendar needs to be fixed. My mindset needs to be fixed. We get wrapped up in what's supposed to be.
Yeah.
We get very wrapped up in what's supposed to be. And we're buying into stories that we never chose to agree with.
So talk to me about a favorite mentor.
A favorite mentor. I was so lucky. I've had 2 situations in my corporate world where I had people take me under their wing and introduce me and bring me into rooms that were so above my pay grade that I had no reason to be there, right? And take the time to teach me things. The mentor I had in my last corporate job would take me to every meeting across the country, by the way, would fly me around the country and take me to meetings, and I would take notes, and then we would go out to dinner, and I would ask him, what was this? What was this? What was this? What was this? And he always made sure I understood what was going on in the background. And then I was able to take that experience and go get an executive MBA it was life-changing, right? And I try to do the same thing with my team. And my team is made up of entrepreneurs, and they are my team, but they're
Yeah.
also entrepreneurs. So taking what he illustrated for me, that you can never go wrong by building up other people. It can only help my business to build up other people and allow them to create their entrepreneurial world within the brand. And my job is to cast the vision, create the strategy, and let them do their thing the best way they do, and just keep those bumpers in the gutters so that we're moving in the right direction instead of like going off the rails.
Oh,
But absolutely, and unbelievable. I say lucky, and at the same time, the reason both of those people put so much effort into me was because I had already exhibited my willingness to, back to what you originally asked me, my willingness to step up and help, step up and solve the problem. And it might have come from a personal drive to be able to provide what I wanted. And then there's this amazing byproduct that when you do things for the right reason for all involved, right? When the water rises, all boats go up.
yeah. Those mentors are so huge. I love
Yeah,
mentors. They're just something that I look back on and still have, and I'm so grateful for so many different
absolutely.
reasons, right?
Absolutely.
How about a quote? What's a quote that you feel really
Well,
embodies? Yeah.
let's use some quotes from my last mentor. I'll give you 2, and these are 2 things he said to me that I still use all the time. One of them was, step on the gas when everyone else is stepping on the brakes.
Love it.
It doesn't mean that you should spend your Christmas holiday working to the bone. That's not what that means. But when you see a recession, when you see a contracting economy, instead of retreating,
Yes.
how can you lean in and be of service in a bigger way? Right? So that's number 1. And number 2, that he used to say to me is, if the only reason we're not doing something is because of fear,
Yeah.
that's not a good enough reason not to do it.
Yeah. Exactly. And we are in a place still of a lot of fear,
Yeah.
right? We're seeing it. It's a bit everywhere. Yeah,
And that's just not a good enough reason to retreat.
absolutely. Oh, so good. Okay, so what's your favorite snack?
Oh my God. Ice cream and popcorn. I could just, and cold cereal. Truth and pizza. Like, I could just live on those four things.
Wait a minute.
Pizza.
Okay, does the ice cream and popcorn go together or are they
Oh,
separate?
absolutely. Oh no, they go together.
Tell me more. Sprinkled?
So my boy, no, like consecutively.
Oh, one
Instead
after
of
the
dinner.
other.
Instead of dinner though, instead of a meal.
Yeah.
Like that whole theme about you can't wait to be an adult so you can eat whatever you want, and then you realize you're an adult and you're eating whatever you want. Like that's a thing in my world. That is an absolute thing in my world. My boyfriend, he does all the cooking and he teases me all the time. He's like, "So how did you stay alive all those years?" Right? Totally.
Yes, I have trained my daughter to love cheese and crackers with prosciutto for dinner. Absolutely.
Right, the way that I describe my approach to food is I don't eat meals, I eat food items in a row. Like, they don't necessarily go together it's nothing you would consider a meal, but I ate a series of food until I wasn't hungry anymore.
So good. All right, Erin, anything else you want to share today?
I think the bottom line for people that I just want people to know is that it's possible. That it's possible, and it's not harder than you think, and it's not scarier than you think, and it doesn't have to be bang your head against the wall. There are always ways. You just have to choose.
Yep.
You just have to choose to step up and do things a little differently.
Yeah. And we are in charge.
And you're in charge. You can do that. One of the things in my morning routine is I forgive all of my past mistakes, even if they were just yesterday.
Love it.
You can change this every single day.
Yeah. So good. Thank you so much for your time today. I'm really grateful for you.
Thank you so much. This was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Snack Leadership. I hope you felt inspiration, motivation, and felt your mindset spark. Snack Leadership is recorded and produced by myself, Ali Camilletti, and music by Shireen Amini.